Right then, time to review Combat Patrol issue 41, and we are finally up to the Orc. Now, what we get with this one is a boss in Mega Armour. I'm going to get round to the miniature in a little bit, although straight away I can see it looks like a push fit model, which is a bit unusual actually for an Orc War boss. But you know what? Let's have a look what we've got here. So, along with the actual magazine, we've got a new battle mat, which I will look at in a little bit as well. But let's start off by, getting into this magazine and seeing what's in here. Okay. Oh, right. So, first little interesting point is they are advertising the terrain pack. I've not actually ordered the terrain pack, not because I don't particularly want it, because I really do. It's some cool terrain. It's just, even if I got it, I have no idea where I would store it. I just don't have the space for it, to be quite honest, at the moment. I do kind of like the idea, though, of having it. As you can see, it's quite a lot in that for, what, £80? I think possibly what's actually in there is worth well over that price-wise. So anyway, that's some food for thought, just in case you want a load of terrain to battle on. But we have our standard, how to assemble our push fit model. Some interesting features in the fact that he's got a Gretchen standing on top of his armour, rattling off that interesting gun. What else have we got here? Now, the fact is, it's interesting that he's a boss in Mega Armour, but he's holding a great big axe. Normally, when you see things with power armor, Orc power armor, Mega Armour, you expect claws, and the fact that this guy doesn't have a claw is, I suppose, an okay thing. It's good that it's different, but do I think that he should have something other than just a massive axe? So you know what, that's kind of something to debate. The huge chopper, as it's called. I'm calling it an axe, but of course it's a huge chopper. Painting now. Painting is again an interesting concept. It's common that people paint orcs green, but actually I'm not going to paint my orcs green. I'm going to use green ink, but I'm not actually going to just paint him green. I'm going to come up with something else. As for his colour scheme, it looks like they're painting using the Goths. So basically the Goth orcs are black and white checks, so black armor mostly with white checks. Again, I don't really want the Goth orcs. I find that I've got my Craftworld Ulthwer basically in black, so I don't want my orcs also in black. Nor do I want them in red, because my Crimson Heralds are red and grey. Can't do them in purple, because my Emperor's Sons are in purple and cream. And I can't just do them straight up blue, because my Tyranids are blue. So I'm going to have to go through the paints that have actually been given as part of this and think what colour scheme I can actually use. Potentially, we could, but actually, I could be running into a bit of a problem here about what colour to make them. So I'm going to have to work that out later on. But anyway, the thing is, if you do want to be able to paint up the Goth orcs, it does give you how to do that, which is, well, a lot of black and silver with white trims or white checks. Oh, finally, we've got a bit of lore. I felt that the last few issues were a bit light on the reading front, on the lore front, so I'm glad that, we've got a bit of that this time. In this case, it's about the the he-she god Slaanesh, the Prince of Pleasure, She Who Thirsts, and many other names. So again, it's just kind of showing something different, which I like. But we've only really got that very short piece of reading to do. There's not much what you might call lore in this one. And after so much time, a few issues where we haven't had a lot of interesting lore to go through, it just feels a bit light. Death Dreads. I do love Death Dreads. They look absolutely fierce and cool. No doubt about it. I really want to see a Death Dread as well. I want to see how they stack up against the Brutalis Dreadnought. I don't think it should be as big, but it should be bigger than the Hellbrute. So I would like to have a good look at that. Cool as well, a Boomdacker Snazwagon, which is just such a cool orky thing, isn't it, really? That, again, basically an orc buggy. And again, I absolutely love stuff like this. Just think it's so cool. It's awesome. Right, a little bit of a play scenario for Thump the Gits. Looks like it's Eldari versus our Orc War Boss. And let's have a look at it, talking about the use of special abilities. Look at this. This is terrible, isn't it? The way that the magazines, they're just ripping so easily. I feel that this is just, someone in quality control needs really dealing with, and it always seems to be this top one as well that's having the problem. Someone needs some quality control, definitely. Right. And then, of course, a little bit of a tease showing the fact that the Votann are coming along. Interesting to see here that they're showing the Votann here in green, but the Orcs in Bad Moon yellow. It makes me wonder what colour the Leagues of Votann are gonna, what colour scheme the Leagues of Votann are gonna use. I'll be very curious about what route they're going down. Right. And of course, it tells us that in our next issue, we've got paint and we've got 10 Orc Boys coming up. Now, the good thing is it looks like the Orc Boys are a single issue as well, which is quite good. I've built these models before, by the way, so I don't think I'll be re-videoing, putting them together, but it is worth pointing out that it looks like we get a single issue for the Orc Boys, which is good. Okay, quick look. Let's see what our battle mat looks like. So these battle mats, let's have a look. Well, to be honest, it's nothing groundbreaking. I'm knocking my camera here trying to unfold it. On this side we have a little Imperial world by the look of it, with that's been kind of reclaimed by the ground. Then an Imperial world, but obviously in the toxic sludge. The map's not exactly, to be honest, the map is a bit underwhelming. It's not that interesting, if I'm quite blunt about it. There's not a lot going on there. It is, quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned, a very boring map. I don't like it. It's just not anything special, to be quite honest. And I think might as well leave it at that. It's not a good map. It's very dull. It's just nothing really jumping out at me going, wow, that looks good. It's got some interesting features. It doesn't. It's just sludge and dirt with a few things. Now let's have a look at this though. This is what really matters. An orc war boss in mega armor. He needs to feel huge. Now, this is one of these things about upscaling things. Things are getting bigger. Certain troops are getting bigger. Which is good in some ways, because a mega boss should feel mega. And I believe that the Gaskell Thracker, who is the greatest boss in the Orc boss, is even bigger than this. Or at least I hope he is. We can get a good idea of how big this thing is by putting it next to a Primaris Terminator. And you can see it actually kind of roughly they are about the same height. The Orc War Boss looks potentially wider, but overall, you know what, they're roughly the same size, which is good. You want an Orc War Boss to feel like they could put a threat to a Primaris Terminator. However, one of the problems with scale creep and things like this getting bigger is it just makes things like this look smaller. This Dreadnought should feel like it's towering over this thing, and actually it's not. I'll be interested to see when it's all put together. It's a push fit model, so that's going to be a nice quick build. However, I want my War Boss model to have more variety than this. It feels a bit underwhelming as a model. It looks good, but where are my choices? Where is my Power Claw? Where is, something other than this big shooter? It's got a big shooter, but I want something else. I want something more than a big shooter. I want to feel like if I fielded this, it would be my War Boss, not just a War Boss. And the problem is, because it's a push fit model, that's all you get. Maybe, potentially, I could change the head. I think I've got some Orc Warclan Mega Bosses. I think I've got one of those, so I'll probably have some heads that could fit this as an alternative. If I want to change the head, it might be possible. But overall, I don't know. I personally want choices. I'm going to admit, I was looking forward to my first Orc issue. And it feels underwhelming to me. The lore in the magazine is about Slaanesh. Why aren't you telling us more about the Orcs? It's the Orc issue. Why are you telling us about the Chaos Gods? The map is very dull, to be quite honest. I like the model for its size and its scale, but one weapon for a character, I don't like that. I want choices, which I'm not getting. I want to be able to use a different weapon, and I've not got an alternative weapon. So actually, I don't normally say this, I'm underwhelmed with this issue. And I think, really, my worry is we've got more push fit Orcs coming. These guys. Now, I've already got this set. I've already built this set. So I know for a fact that you don't have many choices in the issue, unfortunately. Within the actual boys, you can only really build them one way. I hope as we get into other Orcs, so I hope as we get that Snazwagon, I hope as we get the Death Dread, I really hope we start getting more Orc-centric information inside it. So actually, I'm actually saying that this is a bit of an underwhelming issue, quite honestly. So I will be doing a build video of this, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next video.